Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video with Tank Review today. And today what we're doing, we're taking a look at the Italian tank destroyers. That's right, boys and girls, they're actually out on the console now. And we're going to be taking a little bit of like a review of them. I guess you could say a mini tank review of each one. There will not be no gameplay of them right now. I will probably do a proper tank review like later on when I do get them unlocked and stuff. And when we get to those tiers. But for now, we're going to show you guys the armor of these vehicles, the alpha damage, and sort of the penetration of each gun, and the upgrades as well. There is a Tier 8 premium tank if you want to go ahead and buy it. It is in the store, so I will show you where it's at. You go over here to store, go to World War II, and well, here it is. You could buy it with this bundle, which is the most expensive. I wouldn't recommend it if you just want the tank. This will come with the skin, a few equipment, and a couple boosters. Then there's this one, which is slightly cheaper, but again, I probably wouldn't recommend it too much. I mean, unless if you want to spend that much gold on either one, it's up to you how you spend your money. But that one will come with 7 days of premium time and 2 different types of boosters. Will cost you 10,000 gold, and the other one will cost you 13. The one I would say buy would be the 7,000 gold. It's the most cheapest, and I will show you how much gold you need, but this is the cheapest one there is, and you just get this tank itself. But the gold, well, it does standard 7,000. Okay, maybe it's not that cheap. $49, but if you're buying the other ones, it will cost you $100, so yeah. But I would not recommend buying the most expensive packs, or maybe just save up your gold if you're playing through seasons and you're saving up your key cards. But let's get to the true things of this update. Or is it really update? I guess you could say it is update. About the tank destroyers themselves, how they are, and like I said, I'm not going to take them out into no gameplay yet for now. But first one, we get standardly the AP, heat, and HE as your ammunition. The penetration of the AP is 112, the penetration of heat is 150, and HE is 60. Damage is 110 for both AP and heat, and 175 with HE. Now this is with the stock gun as well. You have, which is the 75-18 cannon, then you have a 75-27 cannon, and also the cannon DR 75-34S. The 75-27 damage is 110, which looks like it doesn't really bump up that much, but the penetration does, 127 out of 112. And then you got the other version of the 75, which gets the same alpha damage, but it gets a little bit more penetration than the other two does, with 146 meters of penetration. And that's how many guns it does get. And let's look at the armor. It gets 10 meter thickness, which is in these spots right here. 50, which is the tracks in the belly of the tank. 25, which is the size of the hull. 30, okay. 35, which is the gun. And then 50, which is the upper plate or the fighting compartment of the tank itself. So that's the tier 5 out of the way. Let's go take a look at the tier 6, shall we? Tier 6. Now with the stock gun, you get, again, AP, heat, and HE. You get 146 meters of penetration with, well, you know, AP, 195 with heat, and 70 with HE. Damage is 110 for both AP and the heat, and for HE is 175. Now, you do get 3 other guns. You get the Canon DR90. Damage is 240, and penetration is 165. The next gun you get unlocked in this tank, which isn't that quick, but you do gotta go through 3 other upgrades, is a 102 mil gun. Damage is 360, and penetration 175, which looks like, yes, it gets a little bit more better penetration and stuff. So yeah. Last gun you get on this thing is a 105 mil gun, which damages 440, and penetration is 105, not 400. I don't know what I'm getting 400 for. But it does get 105 penetration, which actually does it look like it would be better than the 102? Because it looks like the 102 gets better penetration than the 105. I don't know. I guess we're just going to see how better the rate of fire is on the 105 than it is on the 102. That is something. It looks like also the 105 only gets 2 rounds, HE and heat. Where the 102 gets APCR, heat, and HE. But AP 90. AP, APCR, and HE. Okay. So there's that. And I also will show you guys the armor. Around 15 meters thickness right here in these spots. 20 meters thickness, which is the tracks. 25 meters thickness, which is the sides of the hull. In the rear of the hull. Okay. 35, which is the gun again, and the rear of the fighting compartment. 45 meters thickness, which is the sides of the fighting compartment. 50, which is the roll plate. And 75, which is the main fighting compartment itself. Okay, let's move on to tier 7. Now, this thing does look like a beast, and I'm guessing it probably also gets the same rounds as well. AP, APCR, and HE, so it doesn't get heat. Alright, that's fine. Sorry about that, guys. What was I doing? Yeah, yes. The penetration with the standard AP rounds is 165. APCR, or actually, I'm forgetting what I'm talking about already. So it gets, let's do it here. Okay, AP, APCR, HE. So, okay. So standardly by its AP rounds is 165, APCR 195, and HE 45. Damage is 240 for both AP and APCR, and HE gets 320. Okay, now that's the stock gun. We're not talking about the other, well, apparently 2 guns it gets. It gets a 90 mil gun, which it gets around 240 damage, and penetration is 175. Again, it gets the AP and APCR and HE. And the last gun is 105, which is not telling me about anything about it, sadly, because I don't have anything unlocked for it. That sucks right there. Huh. I'm not real sure unless, hang on guys, let's see if we could pull up World of Tanks main wiki to actually know about this vehicle's 105 caliber gun. Now I'm hoping it's a little bit better damage than expected. So this is the Simo SMCC, the 105. Okay, so the penetration for the 105 looks like it's 175, 212, and 53. Damage is 320 for both AP and the APCR, along with 420 for HE. Okay, so that's this tank. But let's look at the armor, and holy crap. Around 20 meters thickness right here in these spots, 30 meters thickness in these spots, 135 meters thickness in these spots, 40 meters thickness in these spots, which is the rear. Okay. 45 meters thickness, 150 on these areas, 55. Okay, this area, 60 on the sides right there. Looks like they're actually there's no space armor. 65, which is from the the gun mantlet. 70, which looks like it's a little bit of the cupola and those little bits. 75, which is again very small locations. 80, which again not easy targets to hit. 85, it's near the gun mantlet. 90, again near the gun mantlet, nowhere else. 95, which again it's near the cupola and stuff. 100 for the little plate. 105, which is very small locations throughout the armor. 110, we have 115, 120, 130, 135, 140, 145, which looks like those the cheeks kind of the turret. 150, 155, 165, 175, which is these little bits right there. 180, 190, 200, 205, which is the cheeks of the hull right there. 220 for the upper plate, and 260 for right there. Huh. Okay, so that's with just saying the basics of the Tier 7. So I guess let's go look at the next one, which, hang on, let's pull up it on the main wiki too, for the Italian tank destroyers, the Tier 8 as well. So let's look at the Tier 8. Okay. By what telling you of this tank, it does get 3 different types of guns. 2 of them are 105, one's 120, but the standard gun itself, right here it is AP, ABCR, and HE. But it gets around 175 meters of penetration with its AP, 212 with its APCR, and HE 52. Damage is 320 for both AP and APCR, and 420 for HE. Now let's look at the other 2 or 3 guns. The first 105, you get damage 320, penetration 200. The other 105, which is the 73 version, it gets around 320 damage and 220 pen, which looks like it gets only 20 more penetration than the standard, the other 105. So okay, and it looks like it gets the same alpha damage. Oh yes, and I forgot to say too, I think at Tier 7 it is where the first auto-loading version does come in respectfully play, so yeah. The next gun, which is the third and final gun, would be the 120, which again, I can't really tell by what it has, but let's see. So the 120 gets 226 meters of penetration with its standard AP, with its APCR 300 and HE around 120. Damage is 400 for both AP and APCR, and 515 with HE. Okay, that's not that bad actually. And let's also look at, so this tank at Tier 8 gets a 3-shot autoloader, and let's look at the Tier 7, which it gets, oh wait, no. Maybe it's the other guns that gets the autoloader, I think. I could be wrong about it, but yeah. That doesn't really tell me much, does it? But they do get autoloaders. I think it does start from Tier 7. I'm not sure. Maybe it starts from Tier 8. But let's move on to the next tank itself, which will be the Tier 9. The Concentrio 1 Mark II. This thing looks like a freaking, I don't know what you want to say about this thing. Again, I'm going to be pulling up the wiki about the one of the guns, because I know it's going to be telling me something completely different. So let's look at the Tier 9. And there we go. Okay. By standard with, I'm guessing at this point it does get AP and APCR and HE. So with standard AP, 220 meters penetration and 242 meters of penetration with APCR. And oh crap, I think I gotta do one thing there, guys, on this tank as well. Show you the armor. Just forget about what I just did there. So let's look at this thing's armor a little bit, and then we'll move on to the other one and stuff. So it gets 20 meters thickness right here, 25, 30, 35, 40, which is the rear of the tank, which is what you expect, 45, okay, 50, 55, which it, oh, but there it is. That's a very awkward spot. 60, 70, which is the size of the turret, and, well, the gun mantlet. 75, again, the gun mantlet. 80, which is right there. 85, okay. 90, again, very small spots. 95, okay, the forehead of the tank. 100, which is very small spots to be hitting in the first place. 105, again, small spots. 110, okay. 115, 120, which is that spot right there. 125, which is right there. Holy crap. 130, 135, okay. 140, 145, 150, which is that bit right there, and these two. 165, 170, 175, which is basically its forehead, or left and right of its forehead. 185, 195, 200, which, what? Okay, 200, huh? 205, which is those spots. 210, 215, 220, 225, 230, 240, 245, 255 mere sickness, 260, 270, 280, and 300, which is right there where the gun is. Holy. So this armor is basically all over the place for these vehicles. But now, let's look at the Centaurio Centaurio 1 Mark II, which is the Tier 9 tank destroyer for the Italians. And let's look at, well, again, the penetration, the damage, and all of that of this beautiful tank. Standard rate, I'm guessing this thing does get AP, APCR, and HE. It does get 220 mere thickness of penetration, 242 meters of penetration, and 105 for the HE. That's for both AP and APCR for an HE. The standard AP and APCR gets 320 alpha damage, and HE gets 420. Of course, it's HE, so it gets a little bit more. The guns, you get another 2 more types of guns. Again, I knew this was going to happen with 127. But with the 120, you get AP, heat, and HE. Huh. So wait. There's a standard AP, APDS, and HE, not APCR. Okay, so I was wrong about that, guys. About it having APCR, or whatever I was saying. But now you know. With the 120, it does get AP, heat, and HE. Damage is 400. Penetration is 235. And then the 127 does get around 125 meters penetration with the standard AP. Its premium rounds gets 325, and HE rounds 127. Damage is 490 for both the premium round and your standard AP, and 640 for your HE. And that's basically it for this tank, except let's look at the armor before we forget. And look, oh my goodness, look at that armor. Okay, so we got 10, which is the side skirts, 20, which is the tracks and the turret ring, 30, which is the engine deck, 40, which is the rear of the tank, 45, 50, which is the gun, 65, which looks like it's back here, 70, which is the sides of the hull and the turret, 80, which were... Wait, is that right there? Yes, it is. Right there on that little cupola. What? The only thing that's going to be hitting that is party artillery. Arty party. Okay. 90 meter thickness right here. Again, very small spot, but then also his forehead. 95. 100, which is lower plate. 110. 115, which again it's looks like it's cupola. 120. 130. 135, which is a spot that no one's not going to be shooting at. 140. which is right there. 250. I bet if you angle it too a little bit, you might become better or might become worse. I don't know. I really don't know. You get 260, 290 for the upper plate and around the gun and gun mantlet. And that's basically all the armor for the Tier 9 CC-1 Mark V. Now it's time for the Metario Tier 10 Italian tank destroyer. I'm guessing it only gets one gun. Yes, it does. And its ammunition. Let's look at the ammunition before we completely say what it is. AP8, heat, and HE. So that's very good. Let's close out of World Tanks Wiki. So by standards with the AP rounds, you get 265 meters of penetration. In heat, you get 330. HE gets 130. Huh. Damage is 530 for both AP and heat, and 700. Yeah, 530. 700 for HE. I was getting myself confused there, guys. I'm sorry for that. But that is it of the ammunition or the alpha damage and stuff. Let's look at the armor and this thing. Hold down. I'm betting if you use your gun depression, hide the lower plate, you're probably gonna be a monster in the battlefield. So it does 15 meter thickness, which is the side skirts, 20, which is the tracks and all of that, 30, which is the roof deck, 35, which looks like it's the back there, 40, which is the belly of the tank, it looks like a little bit, and the rear part of the tank, 45, which is right there on the turret, 50, which is the gun and the rear of the turret itself, 55, which is right there, 65, which is again very small areas. So I don't think many people is going to be shooting at those areas. So yeah, 70, again very small locations, back of the turret. 75, which is the size of the hull and turret, so pretty much very weakly armored right there. 90, which is, you gotta be kidding me. Huh. If you guys could see that spot, I could barely see it by just looking at it like this. But okay, a very small target to hit, and you gotta be like giving that, and even at that angle, I think most people might be bouncing. I don't know, unless if you know the armor angling and stuff of like, will you actually pin that? But then if they're using their full gun depression, you're never going to get that. And if they're hiding a little plate, you're never going to get either. So there's 100, which is, again, very small spots, but is on the roof of the turret. 115, again, on the roof of the turret. 120, very small spots. 130, the major cupola in the rear of the turret. 140. 145. 155. 170. Okay. 190, which is the low plate, and that bit's right there. 200, which is the cupola a little bit. 210, which is right there. 220, again up there near the cupolas. 235, up right there. 250, which is smack on with that one cupola. And there's little bits right there. 260, which is again over on this side. 280. 300 meters thickness, which is the upper plate and the whole face of the turret itself, and 380. Holy crap, right there, that little bit right there, if you could see that. So yeah, that's the Italian tank destroyers. I do want to show you guys one more vehicle in the Italian tank destroyers, which is the premium version. I'm going to be showing you guys each of these bundles. There's 3 different bundles. There's this one, that one, and this one. This one is being the most expensive, which will be $100. Just plain $100. Because how much it is. I'm going to show you guys how much the gold is. This, you will get the tank, a premium camouflage with it, or the hero camo, whatever you want to call it, with a couple equipment, XP booster, and a commander XP booster. This one right here, you're getting the tank for 10,000 gold. That one was like 13,000. but you're getting 7 days of premium time, three times XP boosters, and 4 times XP boosters as well. And the last one probably being the most cheapest, but not that much more cheaper, for the 7,000 gold, which we just giving the tank itself. Now, how much will it be for each one? Well, because, let's see. Well, this one's 13, this is 10. And around... So the 13 is going to cost you nearly $99. $100 with tax. So, yeah. The other two will cost you around $49. The 10,000 gold will be costing $49.99. It'll give you 12,000 gold, so you have some gold left over if you buy the 10. Or if you buy the 7, you will still decently have some gold left over. Unless, if you want to do this, and I don't know if this would be a little bit more expensive, but you can go ahead and buy the $29, which you get 6,500 gold. And then if you buy the $6 one, 99 cents, it'll give you 1,250, which will give you 7,000 gold. Well, nearly roughly, I'm gonna say almost 8,000 gold, basically, to get. But let's look at the premium version as well, shall we? So as you can see, this is what the premium version looks like. We'll show you guys the penetration, standard with AP, which, hang on, let's look at the AP, APCR, and HE. Okay. The standard AP gets 220 meters of penetration, APCR 264, and HE is 120. Damage is 400 for both AP and APCR, and 515 for HE. Now, let's look at the armor of this monster. And at Tier 8, this is the Tier 8 Premium Tank Destroyer. It does not look pretty... yeah, it's pretty scary. It does look like it's somewhat weak spots. But let's look at the armor. 20 meter sickness, 30 meter sickness, 40, 45, 50, 60, around 95, which is the little part of the gun, 100, which is these spots, 105, which is those spots, which never shoot the gun mantlets, 135, which is the Kaboa, 140, 160, 165, 175, 190, is that? Oh my goodness, that is such a small spot. 200, 210 for the upper plate, 220, which is very well hidden spots, 225, which is that bit right there with the gun mantlets, 235, 240 for the lower plate. Oh my gosh. 265, 270, 275 for the upper, for the turret, and 300 for these spots, 310 for the gun mantlet, and there you go. That is the armor of the Tier 8 Premium. Let's go back up to the Tier 10, because I want to look at, well... So, that is the new Italian Tank Destroyer, guys. Basically, as you could say, in a nutshell, this is basically how you want to say it. I'm most like a small tank review of each one. I didn't went over everything about them, but I did went over some of like the penetration, the damage, and the armor, so that maybe if you guys could see a spot that units can strike against them. And remember, they don't have a complete traversable turret, so meaningfully you can take advantage of that by tracking them, get around to the rear of the tank, and just putting shot after shot in back of them, because they can't turn that on completely around to rear them. And they do get autoloaders, do keep that in mind. So yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.